Welcome back. We're at the Missouri State Fair, Sedalia, Missouri, broadcasting from the Association of Missouri Electric Cooperatives building here on the fairgrounds, and we're talking with representatives of Missouri Agriculture. Always glad to talk with Charlie Kruse, President of Missouri Farm Bureau, because this is a big day for Missouri Farm Bureau. Charlie, you have a lot of folks in on the grounds today.
We really do, Mike. This is Farm Bureau Day at the fair, and every year on Farm Bureau Day we have Farm Family Day. And we work with the University of Missouri and name a family from every county in the state, 114 counties. And they come to the fair and bring their family, and we try to provide a lot of opportunities for them to have a really good time at the fair. And we'll culminate that late this afternoon with a dinner in the State Fair Director's tent. And it's just a chance to, in a small way, thank them for what they do every day.
Your building, the Farm Bureau building here on the fairgrounds, has a new look this year.
It really does, and we're proud of that. We built our building. Farm Bureau built the building here on the fairgrounds in 1972, and it was the first air-conditioned building on the fairgrounds, and everybody used to flock there. There are a lot of air-conditioned buildings now, but we renovated our building this year, and really looks nice. We're really proud that we did it and proud of the way it turned out.
This will be your last state fair as president of Missouri Farm Bureau. You've announced you're not going to run for the office again. Your thoughts as you look back over the last 18 years as Farm Bureau president, but of course before that as ag director here in the state of Missouri, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's it's a bittersweet feeling. I started as director of agriculture in January of 1985, and back then the director of agriculture was responsible for the state fair. So a lot of memories there, and then for the past 18 years having been president of Missouri Farm Bureau, and I love the state fair, and I'm so glad that Missouri has maintained a real agricultural emphasis in this fair, and I hope that's always the case. But it's a lot of fun to be here and see people that you don't get to see as often as you'd like to, and I certainly look forward to being here again, but it won't be as president of Missouri Farm Bureau.
You have represented not only on the state level, but it's certainly been very active on the national level with the American Farm Bureau Federation. That's going to leave a void. I mean, that's when you step away from that, that's been a big part of your life and what you've been involved in, a lot of those issues.
Well, it really has. I've been very honored to, I've been on the American Farm Bureau board for 15 years, and I've been on the executive committee at American Farm Bureau. That's made up of 4 state presidents for about the last 8 years. And I'm going to miss that a lot, but you get to a point in your life and your career, and you think, well, if you're ever going to slow down just a little bit, maybe now's the time to do it. And I certainly still plan to be very involved, and hopefully will be involved with agriculture at the national and the state level.
And I know you're probably getting tired of people like me asking you, what are you going to be doing? We keep asking you that.
Well, I'm looking forward to spending a little bit more time on the farm. We have a family farming operation. I'm 4th generation farmer. But I also want to find opportunities to be involved at the national level and the state level, and I hope those opportunities present themselves, because I don't want to go home and just quit.
You tell me that the harvest has already started there in the Boot Heel. You're from Dexter, Missouri, and the combines are rolling?
They are. There's a lot of people that started shelling corn last Monday, a week ago today, and today I know there were a lot of people that were going to start. We actually on our farm started Saturday, and in many cases on irrigated corn the stalk's still really green, but the moisture is about 21 and 22% on what we're getting into right now. So we've been extremely dry and extremely hot in the Boot Heel, where other parts of the state of Missouri have been extremely wet, so quite a variance.
As you wrap up your year now and as your time as president of Missouri Farm Bureau, a lot of issues still on the table that will need to be addressed. But for Missouri Farm Bureau right now, what's your number one item? What's your top priority?
I think just trying to push back on so many of these crazy things coming out of Washington, D.C., from cap and trade to trying to get something done on the estate tax to all the regulatory things that are coming at us from EPA. This is a really scary time for agriculture. In my 25 years of being involved, I've never seen as many things that have the potential to be really harmful to agriculture coming at us at one time, and it just takes everybody working as hard as we can to try to push back on some of this.
Charlie, we'll talk more between now and your annual meeting in December, but you know how I feel. Good luck to you, and Appreciate all you do.
Thanks, Mike. You're a class act, and it's been great working with you, and look forward to seeing you down the road.
Thanks a lot. Charlie Kruse, President of Missouri Farm Bureau, and again, a big day for them and family farmers from around the state of Missouri here on the fairgrounds today. All right, we're going to switch now to beef. John Kleiboeker joins us, Executive Director, Missouri Beef Association. Good to see you, sir.
Well, good to see you, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Now, you're here not only as a beef guy, but a few pigs on the grounds too, right?
Well, that's right. I always tell folks that give me a hard time about raising hogs as well that you've got to have a little bacon to make those burgers and filet mignon taste right. So it's a good blessing.
State Fair is such an important time to, it's a financial boost for an association, a group like the beef folks, but also it's a promotional time. I mean, there's nothing that tells your story better than that great taste of beef, and a lot of people enjoy that at the State Fair, and they go home and hopefully will want to try that at home.
You bet. We've got such a great restaurant, and it's so well known here. The Missouri Cattlemen's Association hosts the Beef House, and certainly it's the best place to find a good steak or a good burger or a good all beef hot dog on the fairgrounds. Right next door, then, the Beef Checkoff that I work for has the Missouri Beef Showcase, and that's where our Missouri cattle women and our top 4-H demonstrators who are giving beef demonstrations show people how to cook beef appropriately, and most importantly, teach people about the great nutrients in beef like zinc, iron, and protein.
Missouri Beef, with the other ag groups in Missouri, you've been active, as we talked earlier with Stacy, about educating people about where their food comes from. That's been a very successful campaign this year.
That's been a top priority for our board for the last couple of years because so many consumers in Missouri, but all across the country, are so distant from production agriculture anymore that they really are confused a little bit about where food comes from and what farmers and ranchers do every day in order to be able to produce a good, healthy, affordable, and abundant food supply. And so we're really concentrating heavily this year, and even here at the Missouri State Fair, on that educational effort. And we had FFA and 4-H chapters from across the state put together displays in the county in the steer barns this year so that folks strolling through looking at beef on the hoof could understand what the beef on their plate's all about, too.
Been trying to explain to people that this ballot initiative here in the state of Missouri coming up in November is not just about dogs or cats. I mean, the focus may be on what some call puppy mills, those that aren't licensed breeders, that aren't doing the job right. And there's this perception that gets created that this ballot initiative will take care of that problem. And really, that's not the issue here. I mean, we're talking about really control about how many animals someone could own, and that could eventually affect someone in the livestock industry or horse owners or someone like that. You start setting limits on the number of animals someone can own, that's a dangerous precedent.
Many folks have asked why Missouri's farmers and ranchers are so concerned about this situation, and certainly you've hit the nail on the head. You know, it takes a certain number of any kind of units in order to be able to achieve a profitable level. And in a capitalist society like we have and enjoy, farmers and ranchers need to be able to make some kind of profit in order to be able to perpetuate their business. And if you begin to put a cap on the number of units that an individual or a family can own, whether that's dogs or, heaven forbid, hogs or cattle or poultry, then you do begin to limit their ability to achieve profit, and it begins to diminish their ability to be able to stay in business. And in the long run, we've got to question where we're going to actually get our food.
So it's really, this initiative is not about quality care of animals. It's about the right to own animals or how many you can own.
You know, from my perspective, it's kind of a constitutional right, or at least in the Bill of Rights, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And for a lot of folks in Missouri, just like me, the thing that makes me just as happy as anything is being at home on the farm, working with my livestock and crops and driving tractors. And if you take that away, then you've taken something that's just fundamental to the United States of America away.
I think, and that ought to be a message that resonates with people, I think, about when you start having someone come in and take away your right to choose, your right of choice. I mean, that ought to get people's attention, I would expect
so. I mean, nobody here on the fairgrounds wants me to tell them that they have to eat at a certain restaurant or a certain place. They want the right to choose a steak or a corn dog or a pork chop, and that's certainly something they should enjoy. And as farmers and ranchers, we'd like to have the right to be able to choose our management style and so forth as well. It doesn't matter what kind of management farmers and ranchers are using, they're all working hard to put good, safe, affordable, nutritious food on our plates, and I think we should appreciate that.
Is this the number one challenge facing the beef industry in the state of Missouri and in general today, you think?
Well, I'd say it would be right up there in the top 2 or 3. Probably the other thing is just simply the economics of beef production and profitability right now. And we're seeing across the entire country, and Missouri's no exception, our cow herd is getting smaller and smaller. And a lot of that is because of the opportunity cost of producing other commodity products and again, just simply the lack of profitability in the beef sector for some period of time. And so we're hoping we can get that turned around at some point. I think the bright star in the whole deal, though, is as the population of the world continues to grow and the demand for high-quality protein continues to grow, there will be a place for beef in that. And so we've got a lot of younger folks that are still looking forward to good days ahead.
Free trade agreements would help move more beef?
We'd love to sell more beef to Japan, China, and Hong Kong, Korea, and those places, you bet.
And finally, as we look here in the state of Missouri, here at the Missouri State Fair, folks come out and not only enjoy beef, but watch some good cattle shows, too.
That's right. Boy, the best of what Missouri's got to offer is right here, and we are blessed in that we are the top purebred producing state in the nation. And if you want to see very good, high-quality cattle, come here to Sedalia, Missouri. You're going to see them.
John Kleiboeker, Executive Director of, I said Missouri Beef Association. I'm going to make sure we get the checkoff stuff right. You're on the checkoff stuff.
That's right, the Missouri Beef Industry Council, the checkoff.
I always want to get that, those firewalls are there for a reason, and we don't want to cross those. All right, thanks, and enjoy showing those pigs, too, and I hope the beef guys don't give you too hard a time on that. All right, we're going to talk corn and soybeans next from the Missouri State Fair in Sedalia. Stay with us. This is AgriTalk.